Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. We've been talking a lot about the diesel shortage, the gas shortage, just the shortage of refining capability inside the United States and how that is lowering our stockpiles of diesel and gasoline again and again and again. Now, over the last month, we had a little bit of a reprieve and some diesel started flowing into the eastern United States stockpiles, and they started to go up just a little bit. But the simple fact is that just in the last week, we've had massive shutdowns of pipelines. We've had numerous major pipelines that have shut down due to the cold freeze, due to power consumption issues, due to logistical issues, and on top of that, we've had multiple major refineries shut down in the past week. Several of these refineries shut down due to the cold. At least one of them shut down due to power issues. They were asked to cut back on power and proactively scale back their production. Like I said, we are 1 million barrels per day short of diesel production than we were going into the cough, right? We've had refineries shut down and we haven't opened up a single new one. And we have no plans in the United States to open up any new refineries. So we are seeing those diesel stockpiles get cut into again. Remember how we were saying how many days we have? Now that's not quite accurate because that means all production in the United States is shut down. But the simple fact is that that number keeps getting lower and it doesn't get refilled. We're not seeing it refilled because there's just not enough refining capability in the United States. We were also topping up off of Russian diesel out of Italy. So we had Lukoil has a refinery in Italy. So Russia was shipping oil down to Italy to the refinery. It was being refined and then it was being exported as Italian diesel to the United States. That has been shut down. We have blocked that with new round of sanctions out there. So that diesel is not coming into the United States anymore. So now all the diesel in the United States has to come from the Middle East. That's going to kind of pull us out of this, and we're not ordering enough. So where we are is that the diesel stockpile and the gasoline stockpile in the United States is dropping and dropping and dropping. Across the Northeast, the natural gas stockpiles are dropping dramatically. Just in this last round, we saw the utility companies ate into most of their reserves. So some of the stockpiles we're seeing in New England are down to half their reserves of natural gas. We need a warm spell in order for them to refill those gas reserves because when it gets cold, the utilities say that by law they cannot direct that natural gas to the power plants. They have to direct it towards the houses, the residential. And so that's what happened. It switched over to residential just as the demand for electricity went through the roof. And so the natural gas power plants had to use up a good bit of their reserves in order to kind of get through this cold spell. With that all happening, what we're going to be seeing in the near future is if we don't have a reprieve in the New England area, we're going to start seeing those power plants start having to come offline. That's going to put a lot more strain on the rest of the grid. Additionally, we're also going to see that diesel stockpiles are going to start getting to the point where we're going to start seeing some spotty shortages in different places. Now, this is not going to be across the whole United States. It's mostly focused on the east coast of the United States. And then on top of that, it is even more specific because it's not going to all run out in one place. There's shallow areas of storage, particularly out in rural areas where they don't have as many stations, where they don't get serviced as much. They miss one diesel delivery and they're having an issue in that area. Whereas if you're closer to a city, closer to a pipeline, the deliveries are more frequent and the issues aren't as severe. So what we're going to be seeing is some of the outlying areas, rural areas, diesel is going to start getting a little harder to come by later this winter if things keep up the way that they are. We had shutdowns of the refineries due to the hurricane this fall. That was an issue. And then with this winter storm, we have more refineries that came offline temporarily in order to deal with the cold and also to limit their usage of electricity. So folks, keep your eye on the fuel gauge. Keep your eye on what you have stockpiled. If you need to rotate your fuel that you have at home, do that. If you need to add stabilizer because you haven't had stabilizer in a while, do that. If you just want to keep your tank topped up, that's a good idea too. We do continue to recommend that the best fuel for home heating as a backup is propane. That is clean. It's relatively safe to use, and it stores indefinitely. Get those 20-pounders. If you can get bigger tanks, cool. But if you're trying to get like a tank installed at your home underground, it is extremely expensive. If you already have one, awesome. If you actually use propane as a major source of heat in your home as it is, awesome. But for a lot of people, getting some of those 20-pounders, people are always unloading them. Get a dirty one, get a junky one, buy it for cheap, under 20 bucks, and then take it to an exchange station, exchange it for a brand new sparkling one that is full of propane. Or just remember that those stores are usually going to put about 15 pounds in those propane tanks. If you go fill it up yourself, it's going to be about 20 pounds. You can get 20 pounds in there, but you're not going to get a new sparkling cylinder. So if you need a new sparkling cylinder, get the 15 pounds, and then once you use that, then you can go back and refill it at like some gas stations will have propane refilling. Other stores and stuff like that will sometimes have it. Some hardware stores have propane on tap that they'll sell it to you by the pound or the gallon. And so that's a great way to do that. But make sure your tanks are in good working condition. They last a very long time. But that will keep you nice and warm, and get like one of those Mr. Buddy heaters or some kind of heat source like that, or even a propane burner so you can cook your food, and you can use that too. Make sure you get a carbon monoxide detector with that as well, please. And if you have to use your car to stay warm this winter, please make sure you park it outside. Do not park it inside when you're running it. This is how people die. Don't do that. Make sure that you're very aware of carbon monoxide, and that should be your primary concern, right up there alongside heat. In fact, it should be a higher priority than heat. You can survive cold with enough clothing and enough friends and family around you, but you cannot survive carbon monoxide. Okay, so please be aware of that. All right, folks. Keep your eye on the fuel shortages as they go. I will get you some harder numbers once the energy, it's not association, energy department comes out with their new numbers of where we land after this week. Those will give us a better indication of exactly kind of where we landed with diesel and gasoline along the East Coast. Keep posted for updates. All right, folks, if you found this video useful, helpful, you might want to check out this other video right here. I'll see you over there. Or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar out.